Earlier today, a man walked in and confessed to a murder. Now, we do have new updated information. They have located a body.
The TDC hopes to turn this property into something like this. Think more parking and the potential for development.
We're actually in the new building right now, and here's a little layout of what it looks like. It is 18,000 square feet.
Now it feels like another wave is coming through. You can see the rain starting to pick up in the wind.
Do you remember this face? You should. It was plastered across South Walton for months.
It takes around 6 million lights to make this happen, and it also takes a few board members. We're going to bring in one right now. Any sort of shade structure, whether it's a baby tent or a canopy, has to be 30 feet or about 10 strides from the water's edge. While this substation may not be manned 24/7, there's a button you can push for help, as well as video surveillance, so they've got eyes on you 24/7. It's been a very loud and very exciting night for Donald Trump supporters. If you take a look here, you can see the lines of sand resemble almost like a tree trunk. Chances are, if you drive down Back Beach Road, you've probably seen this construction going on here at Nautilus Street. They're posted on either side of private beaches here in Seaside, and they say you have to have a wristband to be on this portion of the beach. Keep in mind, Atlanta is the top market for tourism as far as Panama City Beach and South Walton, and this is the kind of misinformation that can spread quickly. On the eve of one of the busiest weekends of the year.
It's a wonderful day in South Walton. This is Brooke.
South Walton is fielding a ton of calls and questions.
We had a lot of calls to our partners and to our hotels and lodging accommodations, people trying to get the facts.
Facts concerning this, a sign warning people of a health advisory on 2 of Walton County's beaches, Blue Mountain Beach and Miramar Beach.
2 beaches had bacteria present, and again, there's bacteria present outside every day. But if there's elevated conditions, normal notice is given.
It's a common occurrence, but Wednesday an Atlanta weatherman reported high levels of fecal matter had closed Okaloosa and Walton County beaches, saying the bacteria made it unsafe to swim, calling it, quote, the kind of flesh-eating bacteria. County departments of health test water quality weekly and report the results. If the fecal content is above normal levels, they issue a health advisory, but that doesn't mean the beaches are closed.
I saw last night on Facebook that beaches down here were closed.
Reports swirled from Georgia to Alabama claiming Panhandle beaches were in bad shape, even affecting Bay County, who had no poor beach samplings.
4th of July is the peak of our tourist season. So we did get a number of calls, but I believe most of those folks, when they heard the news, are coming, because everything here is great.
After all is said and done, both Walton and Bay County officials say the beach is open for business.
Certainly, if I had plans to go to the beach this weekend, I wouldn't change them.
Hopefully making 4th of July weekend one of the busiest yet. Now, the television station WSB-TV in Atlanta has since rescinded the original statements and made some clarifications on the science of it all. It's on June 4th, 2015, early around 6 a.m., that Jean Anthony Quinones Rivera says he murdered his 2-month-old son.
So you don't want to lie anymore?
No. That's the reason I'm here.
Wednesday afternoon, Quinones Rivera walked through these doors at Parker Police Department and confessed.
He was crying, and I put in his mouth socks, and then I wrap around with 2 blankets. And then I go to sleep. When I wake up, he was dead.
At that time, he was living here at Parkway Garden Apartments. He said he tried to perform CPR on the infant, and when he didn't wake up, he showed the body to the child's mother.
And I say to her, forgive me for that. And she was scared too, and then I take the baby and put the baby in trash bag, and I drop him in Mexico Beach.
Wednesday evening, Quinones Rivera led investigators to the infant's remains buried off a dirt road within the city limits. But the way his 2-month-old son died, with socks stuffed in his mouth, didn't happen once or twice even.
And I take his socks from him, and I put his sock in his mouth, and then I put tape around in the head, like this. Every time I do this, like 5 times before he died.
5 times. Even once, Quinones Rivera says his son lost consciousness, but was able to revive him via CPR.
Did you think it was okay to stuff a sock in his mouth and tape him up?
No.
As for how he was able to get away with it, he says they lied to family and friends about the child's death.
We say the baby have a heart problems.
Quinones Rivera cites his faith as the reason he decided to come forward now. He says he hopes to avoid burning in hell if he takes responsibility for the crime.
Smile.
Quinones Rivera says his son's death has haunted him over the past year.
He gave me a face, smile face, and I try to remember that every time.
He doesn't believe his child's mother did anything wrong, but Quinones Rivera expects to do time.
I would say I'm guilty.
The bells are caroling, sidewalks busy, and bags prevalent.
People come out, they spend the whole day and make a family affair out of it.
But this hustle and bustle of Black Friday isn't always for everyone.
We came last night.
Take Carol Butte.
And then we came again today.
He's one of many in this not-so-secret brotherhood at Silver Sands Outlets.
I've been waiting for this seat for a while.
They go by a few names: bag holders, bench warmers, you name it.
Yeah, you know, I'm a guy, I find the closest seat, and I'm like, I'll be right here.
Joseph Young's wife is somewhere in Vera Bradley.
The store is 50% off right now.
He's just outside holding down the fort and the toddler.
Like I said, I'm not a big shopper or anything like that, so I don't like her and her family. It's a religion for them, you know, pretty much.
Keeping the kids occupied seems to be a common theme, too.
Well, my wife is shopping, so I have to find something to entertain kids with.
Kirill Yakovlev has set up shop here. He's not really sure which store his wife is in.
No idea, prefer not to know. I'll just pay the bills when they come in.
Harold has learned this over time, he says.
I've been trained well. As long as the girl's happy, I'm happy.
This band of brothers bearing their Black Friday as best they can, keeping those benches warm. In Miramar Beach, Maggie Solomon, News 13. Being ready for an active shooter situation is impossible. Being prepared, that's a different story.
It's muscle memory.
The Bay County Sheriff's Office is spending all month giving sworn officers hands-on experience with lifelike simulations.
Your heart rate's elevated, and it's a stressful situation.
Miss your hands, miss your hands. We train them to go in, find them, deal with it, and stop the killing.
Deputies are using 3 basic options: pass, hold, or shoot.
You scan the rooms, you identify if there is a threat. If there's not, you move on. That's the pass. If you see somebody in there that has a potential weapon, if you think that is a threat, you address that threat, you hold them. And the person has a weapon in their hand or has proximity to you to injure you or maybe somebody else, that would be a shoot.
So let's put it to the test. Pass, hold, or shoot.
Here we go.
First, go for the immediate threat. That's her. Shoot. Then to the other guys. Their hands are up. But wait, did you miss it? Watch this guy closely. Yeah, that's a gun. Now imagine having to process all of this in just 5 seconds.
That's probably going to be multiplied by 100.
The practice gives law enforcement something to fall back on in case of those high-intensity situations.
There's only 2 types of officers. There's trained and untrained.
Drop the bell, drop the bell! And that training leaving Bay County more prepared, just in case.